Top 10 largest tractors in the world. They don't fit in garages. They don't back down from storms. And when they start moving, the earth remembers. Across continents and generations, tractors have powered the pulse of agriculture. But these machines are something else entirely. They're not just vehicles. They are steel-born titans, built to conquer land at a scale most machines will never touch. In this list, we're not talking about horsepower. We're talking about presence. With tires taller than a man, cabins that rotate like watchtowers, and engines that could tow freight trains, these 10 giants push the limits of what a tractor can be. Some run on diesel, others run in defiance. And number one, it wasn't just unexpected, it was impossible. Don't forget to press and hold that like button, leave a comment, and hit subscribe before we begin. Ranked 10th, Kirovets K-744R, the Cold War Colossus, still plowing forward. Across the boundless steppes of Russia, where distances are measured in days and winters in hardship, one machine continues to churn the earth with the same force it did decades ago. The Kirovets K-744R wasn't designed for comfort, aesthetics, or acclaim. It was built with a singular intent: to function relentlessly where most machines falter. Towering at over 20 tons and driven by a 12.8-liter YAMZ engine delivering 435 horsepower, this Soviet-era juggernaut trades elegance for endurance. The cabin resembles a battlefield post, sparse, metallic, and loud. Every gear shift resonates like a verdict, and every wheel turn feels forged from necessity, not design. While modern tractors flaunt digital dashboards and ergonomic seats, the K-744R relies on steel, simplicity, and sheer mechanical willpower. Its greatest strength lies in its fixability. Parts are not hidden behind software. They're accessible, modular, and ready for welding under open skies. This isn't a machine that demands specialists. It asks only for grit. Even after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Kirovets' legacy endured. Production resumed with updated models, but the foundation remained unchanged. The K-744R does not age, it adapts. Still roaming fields from Kaliningrad to Kazakhstan, it remains not a relic, but a fixture. It earns its place among the largest by refusing to yield to time, terrain, or technological trends. When the soil is frozen and the distance is unforgiving, few machines answer the call like this enduring monolith from Russia's industrial past. Or, it rotates. The Claas Xerion 5000 stands apart not because it's louder, heavier, or meaner, but because it dares to rethink what a giant tractor can be. With a 530 horsepower engine and a frame tipping over 20 tons, this four-wheel drive powerhouse doesn't just move, it aligns. Its most iconic feature is a fully rotating cab, a cockpit that swivels 180 degrees with the push of a button. For farmers pulling mega-sized implements or managing multiple tasks in reverse, this isn't a gimmick, it's game-changing geometry. Beneath its clean European lines lies a powerhouse of hydraulic intelligence and balanced weight distribution. The Xerion doesn't lean on brute force alone. Its strength comes from coordination, all-wheel steering, torque-sensing transmission, and a chassis that flexes with precision across complex terrain. Every component feels deliberate, and every movement is optimized. Unlike older giants that rely on sheer steel mass, the Claas Xerion 5000 operates like a giant orchestra in sync. Not a boulder rolling forward, but a machine thinking through every step it takes. It has become a staple in high-tech farming operations across Germany, France, and beyond. Not because it's the biggest, but because it makes big work smarter. Among the world's largest tractors, the Xerion 5000 earns its rank not by overwhelming the earth, but by outmaneuvering it. Ranked 8th, Challenger MT 975E, the iron backbone of American megafarms. Where the fields stretch beyond the horizon and every sunrise marks a new battle with scale, weight, and time, the Challenger MT 975E answers unflinchingly. It doesn't introduce itself with flair. It arrives like infrastructure, massive, muscular, and built to move continents of soil. Delivering 600 horsepower and weighing over 25 tons, This four-wheel drive colossus belongs to a rare breed of agricultural machines that treat 20-row cultivators as warm-up weights. Powered by a 16.8-liter AGCO power engine, its acceleration may be slow, but its impact is immediate. There's no hesitation in its movement, only certainty. The MT975E is not concerned with delicate features or advanced automation layers. Its architecture speaks a different language. Twin fuel tanks for nonstop coverage, massive axles for unyielding traction, and a drivetrain engineered to withstand years of deep ripping through the unforgiving ground. It is the kind of tractor that thrives in the heartland of America. Not in test fields, but in real farms where downtime is measured in dollars lost by the minute. Whether carving through the heavy clay of Iowa or pulling cedars the length of a city block in Kansas, this machine exists not to impress, but to endure. Its strength lies in what it doesn't need: attention. It gets up before the farmer and rests only when the work is done. While others are admired for innovation, the MT975E is remembered for something far simpler: doing the impossible until it becomes routine. Ranked 7th. Buhler Versatile 610DT, the northern engine that outworks the storm. In a land where frost lingers long after spring arrives, machinery is judged by a single metric: survival under pressure. The Buhler Versatile 610DT wasn't built for spectacle. It was built for situations where the margin for error freezes alongside the soil. This 610 horsepower track titan weighs over 24 tons and is powered by a Cummins QSX-15 engine, an industrial core wrapped in a straightforward design. There is no excess, no indulgence, just steel, torque, and traction engineered for the open prairies of Canada and the frozen yields of Manitoba's fields. What sets the 610DT apart isn't just its size, it's the logic behind it. Unlike complex imports overloaded with electronics, this machine favors simplicity with purpose. Its dual-track system grips terrain with brutal consistency, distributing weight evenly, minimizing compaction, and maximizing grip in slick or muddy conditions where wheel giants falter. Inside, the cabin is utilitarian. Clear lines, essential controls, and wide visibility. Everything feels built to serve, not to distract. The cooling system is over-engineered for reliability and designed to operate in long shifts with minimal oversight. This machine treats overheating like an insult and downtime like defeat. Across the Canadian plains, farmers choose the 610DT not because it's luxurious, but because it works. And when blizzards pass, engines freeze, and the job still isn't done. This tractor doesn't ask for a second chance. It never needed one. Ranked 6th. Versatile DeltaTrack 620DT. When 4 tracks speak louder than 1,000 tires. In the cold flatlands of North America, where rain turns topsoil to sludge and frost buckles the earth beneath, wheels alone aren't enough. That's where the versatile DeltaTrack 620DT comes in, not rolling across the land, but gripping it with all 4 corners like a steel-bodied predator. At 620 horsepower and over 26 tons, the 620DT is one of the largest full-track tractors in commercial production. This machine trades maneuverability for momentum and tires for a 4-track drivetrain engineered for relentless traction. With a Cummins QSX-15 engine at its heart, it's built not to sprint, but to dominate acres at once, pulling implements the length of freight cars without losing balance or bite. What makes DeltaTrack distinctive isn't just power, it's the platform. The undercarriage system distributes force with surgical symmetry, reducing soil compaction and maximizing flotation across soft or saturated terrain. On slopes, on slush, in fields that would strand lighter rigs, the 620DT doesn't pause. It presses on. The cab mirrors the philosophy outside. Function first. Straightforward controls, reinforced visibility, and strict climate control are enough for Canadian extremes. It's not bare bones, it's battle-ready. It is designed for operators who demand reliability over luxury and results over ornament. In mega tractors, few machines look as heavy or move as gracefully. The 620DT doesn't just belong in the field. It defines how the field is worked when the ground fights back. Ranked 5th, Case IH Steiger, Quadtrac 620, the four-track juggernaut that redefined grip. Some tractors pull weight, and then some pull landscapes. The Case IH Steiger. Quadtrac 620 belongs to the latter. Towering in reputation and presence, this machine didn't just raise the bar for horsepower, it reinvented how traction is delivered to earth. At 620 horsepower and over 27 tons, the Quadtrac 620 is among the heaviest and most powerful agricultural vehicles ever built in America. But its true legacy lies beneath: 4 independent rubber tracks, each mounted on its oscillating frame. This innovation didn't just improve grip, it transformed how mega-tractors interact with terrain, allowing even weight distribution, low ground pressure, and unmatched flotation. The engine, a turbocharged 12.9-liter beast, delivers torque with thunderous consistency. Yet the Quadtrac doesn't brute force its way through fields. It glides, steady, balanced, surgical. Whether pulling a 70-foot air drill through dense clay or managing deep tillage on undulating land, it moves like an iron animal in rhythm with the soil. Inside the cab is a command post. Panoramic glass, multi-function controls, GPS precision, and suspension that keeps operators focused over 18-hour harvest runs. This is not just a workspace, it's a cockpit for land-scale engineering. More than a machine, the Steiger Quadtrac 620 is a doctrine, a belief that traction is more than contact. It's controlled and translated through design. And in fields that demand everything, this four-legged titan speaks in acres conquered, not words spoken. Ranked 4th, John Deere 9RX640, when power meets precision, painted green. Recognition matters among giants, and nothing commands more instant recognition in agriculture than John Deere's unmistakable green and yellow. But the 9RX640 doesn't rely on branding. It earns its place with scale, performance, and technological dominance. Delivering a massive 640 horsepower and weighing over 25 tons, this track behemoth stands at the very edge of commercial tractor capability. But unlike older titans focused solely on brute strength, the 9RX640 pushes a new agenda: muscle guided by intelligence. At its core lies a 15-liter John Deere PowerTech engine tuned for efficiency under load. But what sits beneath sets it apart: a 4-track undercarriage system designed for stability at speed, traction over wet fields, and gentle soil treatment. It doesn't just move across the land, it collaborates with it. Operators sit inside a cab designed more like a command center than a vehicle. Panoramic screens relay live telemetry. GPS-guided steering corrects in real time. Terrain mapping, moisture tracking, yield forecasting. Every detail feeds into a tractor that does more than drive. It thinks. The 9RX isn't loud, and it doesn't flaunt. It moves with quiet assurance. A technological monolith powered by diesel and data. From Kansas cornfields to the high plains of Montana, it represents the modern age of high-volume, high-efficiency agriculture. Among the largest tractors on Earth, the 9RX640 doesn't just join the list, it helps write the next version. Ranked 3rd, Fendt 167 Vario MT, the silent precision of Bavarian brutality. When German engineering turns its attention to agriculture, the result is rarely loud, never flamboyant, but always exact. The Fendt 1167 Vario MT is no exception. This machine doesn't posture, it performs with surgical confidence, wrapping immense power in a body designed for efficiency, not ego. Producing a staggering 673 horsepower, the 1,167 Vario MT ranks among the most powerful track tractors ever to roll off a European assembly line. Beneath its sleek, almost aerodynamic silhouette lies a man's 6-cylinder engine, pushing torque through Fendt's signature continuously variable transmission. A drivetrain so smooth that transitions between speeds are virtually invisible to the operator. But what rests beneath the bodywork tells the real story. The dual-track system, paired with a suspended chassis and smart ballast logic, keeps this 23-ton Titan balanced across rutted terrain and rolling ground. It doesn't bounce. It flows, absorbing the land rather than challenging it. Step inside, and the contrast is immediate. Noise fades, touchscreens glow. The seat adjusts as if programmed to read the operator's intent. With joystick steering and an integrated headland management system, the driver becomes more conductor than laborer, orchestrating fieldwork with finger-level precision. While others roar through fields, the Fendt 1167 whispers. Its presence is marked not by dust clouds or vibrations, but by the rows it leaves behind. Straight, even, perfect. In a ranking of size and strength, the 1167 earns its place not by shouting louder, but by operating with a silence only confidence allows. Ranked second. New Holland T9.700. The blue force that pulls the horizon. In the high plains of the American Midwest, where the soil stretches further than the eye can follow, work is measured in hours before weather changes, not in minutes. In that world, reliability isn't optional, it's law. And few machines understand that law better than the New Holland T9.700. Delivering an immense 682 horsepower, this blue-clad behemoth sits among the heaviest and most powerful tractors ever released into open fields. Weighing over 24 tons, it isn't flashy or unconventional. It's engineered like a hammer, simple, massive, and impossible to ignore when it swings into motion. At the heart of the T9.700 lies a massive FPT Cursor 13 engine, twin turbocharged and bred for uninterrupted field endurance. But power here isn't just about output, it's about longevity. Cooling systems are oversized. Lubrication circuits are overbuilt. The frame is reinforced like a locomotive. Everything screams durability before it even moves. Its four-wheel drive articulated chassis gracefully flexes through uneven terrain, ensuring that no horsepower is wasted. The cab rises like a watchtower above the field, offering complete visibility and ergonomic command over machinery stretching dozens of meters behind. The SmartTrack system and IntelliView touch panel give operators complete situational control, from hydraulics to fuel optimization. But what separates the T9.700 isn't just strength, it's confidence. The kind of presence that doesn't need to race, because it knows the field will belong to it by day's end. When you see this tractor moving through farmland, it doesn't just appear powerful. It feels like something nature has to make room for. In first place, Big Bud 16, FIVI 747, the machine that made the earth tremble. Some machines serve the land, and then there is one that rewrote what the land could endure. In 1977, in the wide-open wheat fields of Montana, a single commission birthed a monster. It wasn't sculpted in wind tunnels, tested in boardrooms, or welded together with one goal: to pull more soil than any tractor had ever dared. The result was the Big Bud 16 FIVI 747, an agricultural superweapon weighing over 50 tons, stretching 27 feet long and standing nearly 14 feet tall. To this day, no other farm tractor has ever surpassed it in scale. None have even come close. At its heart lies a 16-cylinder Detroit diesel engine, displacing 24 liters and delivering a crushing 1,100 horsepower. When Big Bud starts moving, it doesn't just drag plows, it drags physics with it. In its prime, it could pull a 25-meter wide cultivator, covering over 1 acre per minute, devouring land with the pace of a machine built for war, not wheat. And yet, for all its power, Big Bud isn't reckless. It's deliberate. Massive custom-built Goodyear tires, each over 2 meters high, distribute weight with surprising grace, minimizing soil compaction. Twin fuel tanks feed its enormous appetite, allowing it to run for hours across uninterrupted farmland. The cab, perched above like a control tower, offers panoramic views over the land it reshapes. There are no flashing screens, touch commands, levers, gauges, and a rumbling presence that feels like sitting inside a living engine. Big Bud was retired, restored, and returned, and now resides where it began, in the service of Earth. Not in a museum, not in a lab, but in a field, still doing what no other machine can. This isn't just the largest farm tractor ever built. It is the final word in what mechanical scale can look like when humans stop asking why and start asking, how big can we go? Across every corner of the world, when the field grows too wide, and the sky turns too unforgiving, these machines appear, not to impress, but because the land demands them. From the wind-torn plains of North America to the frozen soil of Siberia, they represent more than horsepower. They embody legacy, resilience, and purpose, forged into motion. Each tractor on this list isn't just a marvel of size or engineering. It is a response to a challenge only the Earth can issue. As the world moves toward automation and efficiency, these giants stand as a reminder. Size, when directed with purpose, becomes something far greater than weight or width. Because when the Earth calls for strength, real, relentless, unforgiving strength, these are the machines that answer.